morning, joining us, Democratic Senator Alex Padilla from California, who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, it's great seeing you. What are your expectations for these hearings today?
Oh, good to be back with you, Jose. Look, I'm expecting a big and obviously already a historic week. I've had the honor, the privilege of not just studying Judge Jackson's background, but meeting with her as she was making her rounds with members of the Judiciary Committee and other senators. You know, my office was on that itinerary. We spent just shy of an hour, not just talking about legal philosophy and issues, but getting to know her as a person. And one of the things I'm excited about is the whole country getting to know Judge Jackson better, getting to know Judge Jackson for the judge and the person that she is. I want to also make a point right away on this, Jose. She is more than eminently qualified to be on the Supreme Court of the United States. If you look at her record, you look at her credentials, her education, and her life experience, she is ready for this. And I lead with that because try as we might to make this a bipartisan process, some of my Republican colleagues have signaled that they're going to call some of that into question. And it's just wrong. She's more than qualified. And yes, she's historic. Representation matters. You and I have talked about this. So just her appearance before the Judiciary Committee today writes a new chapter in our nation's history.
Well, as a matter of fact, it's always important to recognize that I'm speaking to the first Latino senator of California in the history of that state. Representation does indeed matter, Senator. I was wondering your reaction to some Republican leadership accusing Judge Jackson of having special sympathy with criminals, as Senator McConnell put it.
First, absolutely wrong, absolutely false. Whatever they're pointing to is completely taken out of context. Senator McConnell has pointed to it, but really it's been led by Josh Hawley, Senator Hawley, who's on the committee, I should say. So that's a little bit of a warning of what we may be in for this week. But let's remember who he is. Senator Hawley, as Chairman Durbin has reminded us, is part of the fringe element of the Republican Party who was fist bumping with insurrectionists on January 6th. Number one, it's false. Number two, remember where it comes from. And number three, let's not get distracted from the qualifications and the experience that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson brings to this role. So plenty of opportunity for a number of members to raise questions, raise issues, but most importantly, the American people will hear directly from Judge Jackson herself.
And there we see her just a few moments ago, stepping out of her house and going into the car that takes her to Capitol Hill. Senator, before I let you go, I want your thoughts on Ukraine. I mean, over the weekend, we've been seeing this escalating of the bombing, of the destruction. Just earlier, the last hour, we had a Ukrainian member of parliament pleading for the West to send in airplanes, but today, not next week, not next month, things that they could use to defend themselves from Russia. What do you see there? Is there anything else that we should or could be doing more?
Yeah, well, look, I think the United States stands firmly with Ukraine and the people of Ukraine, along with our other NATO members and other allies around the world. Every time there's been an appeal for more resources, President Biden and, frankly, Congress has stepped up to provide that. So we're going to continue to provide the resources necessary for Ukraine to defend itself, defend democracy, and continue to evolve as the situation on the ground continues to evolve.
Senator Alex Padilla, thank you so much for being with us this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jose. Take care.